Adam Voss saw the world as a perfectly logical place. At 31 years old, he worked as a software developer in Chicago. He lived alone. He followed routines. Everything in his apartment had a place. Every book on his shelf was arranged alphabetically. Every shirt in his closet was sorted by color. Every day followed the same schedule. Adam believed that fear came from misunderstanding. If something could be explained, there was nothing to fear. And if something couldn't be explained, then the explanation simply hadn't been found yet. Ghosts? Not real. The supernatural? A trick of the mind. Coincidences? Just mathematics people failed to understand. That was what Adam believed. Until one Sunday morning in September. The day started like any other. A quiet breakfast, a cup of coffee, and a trip to a local flea market. His apartment wall had been empty for years. One of his coworkers had once joked that it made the place look depressing. So Adam decided it was finally time to buy something to hang there. Nothing expensive, nothing special, just something to fill the empty space. At least, that was the plan. The flea market was crowded. Rows of old furniture, boxes of forgotten belongings, stacks of dusty books,
and dozens of paintings. Near the back of the market, Adam found a stall selling old artwork. Most of it looked worthless. Faded landscapes, damaged portraits, cheap copies of paintings nobody remembered. Then he noticed a large wooden crate sitting on the ground, filled with old framed photographs. Curious, he started looking through them, one after another. And then he found the photograph at the very bottom. The moment his fingers touched it, something felt wrong. It was an old black and white photograph. Heavy wooden frame, slightly cracked glass. The image showed a man sitting alone on a sofa inside a dimly lit room. The man appeared unaware that a photograph was being taken, as though he had been captured by accident. Adam looked closer, then closer still, and suddenly, his heart skipped a beat, because the man in the photograph was him. Not similar, not resembling him, not merely familiar. Identical. The same eyes, the same jawline, the same cheekbones, even the same slight tilt of the head. It was as if someone had taken a picture of Adam himself. Except there was one impossible problem. The photograph looked decades old. Adam asked the seller where it came from. The old man barely looked up. "Probably from the 1960s, he said. "Someone dropped off a box years ago." The 1960s. Long before Adam was born. Yet somehow, his face was staring back at him. Against his better judgment, Adam bought it. $3. He told himself there had to be a reasonable explanation. Maybe a strange coincidence. Maybe a distant relative. Maybe an illusion. Something logical. Something normal. But the moment he got home, everything became worse. Adam hung the photograph on the wall, then stepped back and really looked at it. The room inside the photograph looked familiar. Too familiar. His eyes moved across the image. The window, the walls, the shape of the room, the position of the support beam.
every detail matched. It wasn't just a similar room. It was his room. Adam grabbed his phone. He compared the photograph with the apartment around him. Again and again. The results never changed. The room in the photograph and the room around him were the same place. That night, Adam didn't sleep much. He kept searching for explanations. Anything that made sense. Anything at all. Eventually, morning arrived.
And when he looked at the photograph again, he froze. Something had changed. The night before, the man had been sitting alone. Now, there was another figure standing beside him. A blurry figure, barely visible, almost hidden, but definitely there. And it wasn't looking toward the camera. It was staring directly at the man. Adam immediately removed the photograph from the wall. He carried it outside, dropped it into a dumpster, closed the lid, and walked away. Problem solved. Or so he thought. 3 days later, he returned home after work, opened the apartment door, and stopped breathing. The photograph was back, hanging on the wall, exactly where it had been before. Perfectly straight, perfectly still, as though it had never left. Adam stared at it in disbelief, then slowly approached and noticed something else. The man inside the photograph had moved. He was no longer looking toward the camera. Now, he was looking directly outward. Directly at Adam. And beside him, the blurry figure had raised one arm, pointing straight at Adam. That night, Adam threw it away again, locked every door, checked every window, and finally forced himself to sleep. Then came the dream. Adam found himself standing inside an old room, a room filled with furniture from another era, 1960s furniture, 1960s wallpaper. Across from him sat a man with Adam's face. The room was silent. Neither moved, neither spoke. Finally, Adam asked, "Who are you?" The man smiled for the first time and quietly answered, "I am what you are going to become." Adam woke instantly. 4 o'clock in the morning, his heart racing, his hands shaking. The room was dark, silent, still. Then he noticed something lying on the sofa. An old photograph. One he had never seen before. With trembling hands, he picked it up and felt his blood run cold. The image showed him sleeping on the sofa only moments earlier. And written beneath the picture, in faded pencil, were 7 terrifying words. Now it is your turn to come inside. Adam slowly looked toward the wall.
The photograph had returned once again. But this time, the image inside was empty. No man, no figure, no movement. Only an empty room, an empty sofa, and endless silence. Then Adam finally understood the truth. The photograph had never been showing the past. It had been showing the future. And now, the room inside it was waiting for someone new. Waiting for its next occupant. Waiting for Adam Voss. The photograph was not empty. The photograph was waiting.